Hey, I'm JD. Welcome to my channel. I'm a bit nuts today. Okay, so this is the gang that was at the OK Corral, including Wide Earp and the rest of them. So I have not joined that gang. I just want to let you know, and I want to do a quick video here on a couple watches I've received. And I've got sitting over there in the corner there is COVID Bernie. I had him up as a watchmaker in a videos a long time ago, so I'm just being really silly today. Hope you're enjoying this. So I am not joining the Wide Earp gang. So again, JD, welcome to my channel. We're going to have our watchmakers group tonight at 8 o'clock, and I'll be recording that video, and that'll be probably published sometime Saturday. Super crappy weather coming up here in Ottawa, Canada. It looks like a huge storm with plenty of centimeters of snow. Up here in Canada, we get centimeters of snow, and we get tons of them, which are way bigger than inches of snow. In case you're curious, and you're in the US, you get inches, we get centimeters. Is obviously more snow, because 1 inch is way more centimeters, so in the equivalency. So also my hip tells me that the pressure would be around 96 today, so barometric pressure around 96. If you're a pilot of some sort, that's probably 1050, but it's telling me we're going to get exactly 27 centimeters of snow based on my hip down there, I think, telling me this. So, and whenever you've got some arthritis problems with your hip, it tells you what the weather is, so it saves you lots of cost in buying a weather vane or a barometer or anything you need to measure weather, because all you need is a little bit of arthritis in your hip, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Plus, if you're Granny from the Beverly Hillbillies, you need some rheumatism medicine so that your hip is not really a problem, because you really don't care. So what I have here, and I'll look down a bit, don't want to be rude, but what I have here is 2 watches that came from a gentleman in the US. And the gentleman's first name is, wait for it, I'm looking it up. It is not Mike, it's Rick. So this is Rick, and he lives in the US, and he lives in the Deep South. Probably not the Deep South, but he lives in the US anyway. So I asked him where he lived, and he said he lives in Nebraska. So cool. So he's got a bunch of pocket watches, a lot of Hamiltons, 994Bs, I think, and he sent me a Waltham and a Hamilton. I told him, please don't send me watches that work, because it stresses the hell out of me. Send me watches that don't work, and I can see what I can do, because all the watchmakers I know don't like cleaning a watch that's got a less than 1 millisecond beat error and it's running at an amplitude of 300. What am I going to do other than have a look at it and make it worse? So I could oil it, I could take it apart, put it together, and it still might not have the same beat error. It might be worse. So not a good thing for me and for other guys who do clocks and watches. We like to get stuff that isn't working so we can be fantastically and wonderfully surprised when it starts ticking, and our customers can go, oh my God, this is great stuff. So that's our intent, is to always have that feeling of success and great stuff. So these watches came in 2 boxes, and the word box is American for box. So you got to do it a little bit like that. So I have not opened these up yet. I'm being totally honest with you. I do not know what's in here, and it better be good. So this is from Rick, as I said, in Nebraska. Let's see what this came all the way from Nebraska. And thanks a lot, Rick. And you followed the advice perfectly. You valued these things at $20, which is perfect, so that the FBI agents that work at the Canadian border, we have the equivalent, but they're not FBI. But the border police look at it and go, okay, it's only 20 bucks worth of stuff. I'm not going to believe that Mr. JD is buying this and charge him Canadian taxes and border fees for all this. So it worked perfectly. Great job. And I'm looking at your packing here. Is a wonderful piece of paper I can reuse. And here is the watch. The first time I've seen this, it's a thing of beauty, actually. So this is an old watch in a salesman case. I'm going to open this up and have a quick look at it. I may have to flip glasses, because I need to look at this closely. So this is exciting stuff. Holy shamoles, Batman. This is a really nice Waltham. So it's American Waltham Watch Company, AWWC, and it is a 15 jewel Waltham in a salesman case. Oh my God. And I'm looking at this. I'm going like this really quickly and seeing the balance isn't moving, so I'm hoping that's not the problem, but I know it is. So anyway, it has the hairspring, which is a nice thing. Turn that around and you can see the face of this Waltham, and it's actually a really nice face. So this watch is not working, so if I try to wind it like this, that is not working either. So, and if I press in like that, it does seem to have a little bit of pressure on the mainspring, but when I do this, the hands don't turn. So what's going on here? So there's stuff happening. I'm not sure what that is. So there seems to be a little dent right here, or an indentation maybe to open the case up. Not sure what that is. I just put my thumbnail in there and opened it up, and there's no lever set mechanism in here, so this could be interesting dude, right? So I did see the little tiny knurl or little gap there to open it, so that worked perfectly. So he had it. It's a press-on case, which is interesting. So, but this is a salesman case. So just I'll leave that like it is right now, kind of loose. I don't need to have that tightened. But this is loose like heck, so there seems to be lots of wonderful problems with this particular watch. This case back also snaps off, because I can tell I got my long thumbnail in here pushing down, and I was hoping it would pop up, but it's not popping up. So this is a Waltham, and the number on this Waltham is 22689-532. 22689-532. Let's look that up. All right, there we are. It's a grade 620, 22689-532. So grade 20, it is a model 1908. It was produced in 1919, and there were a lot of these made, 34,000 or 354,000 made, 15 jewel, as I said before. Open face, blah blah blah, church regulator, Bourget, so it's not adjusted. So it's not a high-end movement, but it's got, looks like it's got a dust cover on here, and also it is in a salesman case, which means it has the glass back, which is really cool. So that's the watch there. I won't bother looking up the value right now. So this is a pretty cool watch de pocket there, or pocket watch as they say in English. And I'm just curious as hell whether that balance staff is broken. So I'm gonna get one of my watch openers. I've got a bunch of these. This is not the super expensive one, but it's pretty good because it's wide. And I'm just gonna put my hands in here and see if I can convince the lid to open up on this thing. I want to be very careful with this because it's got a glass back, and I don't want to crack that back in any manner. So take that out like this, and I'll get my tweezers out, and I just want to see if this is just overbanked or what the story is. Yeah, good, it's overbanked. So it looks like the balance is good. It's just, I think the term is not overbanked, but someone said, but it's effectively the impulse jewel is on the wrong side of the pallet fork. That can happen for various reasons. The impulse jewel may in fact be loose on this pocket watch. So this watch needs some work on it. I'm not certain about the problem on the winding mechanism. I can fix that, right? So it seems to be fine. The setting mechanism, not sure what the problem is there, but I do want to take the pressure off the mainspring while I got it here in my hand. So I'm just going to move the click spring out of the way very carefully. So I'm just going to do that, and then see if I can let that ride back a bit. That is not working. So, and I think I got the case, the front case of this salesman case is a bit of a pain in the butt. I'm a totally honest guy too, so just in case you're curious. So I should be able to walk this back carefully, which I'm doing right now, and I don't want it to slip and cause problems with the mainspring that's inside. I might be able to use that mainspring. It slipped a bit there, but there's no problem. I still have pressure coming down on it, and I'm just trying to walk it back easily, and this bugger's hard. It's causing me to get stressed out here. So it's almost walked back completely. Come on. You know you want to. You know you want to. Come on. There we go. And we'll just walk this back a little bit more. I'm trying to hold on to this crown. I don't want it flying, okay? Is that good enough for now? Might be good enough for now. So it's strange that it's 15 joules, and I have to press down to engage the winding, which is not normal. Normally it'll be in the down position, and then I can just, yeah, so right now all the power is off the mainspring, so we're good that way. So that's good. So what we'll do is, I won't have time to work on this right now. This will be something I might start this weekend. So let's just put this down for a second. I'm going to lean way back, and I'm going to pick up one of many watch cases here. So let's just put this one in here for now. Tuck that in nicely, tuck it into bed, and then I'll move this aside. So that's the first one. And I've got the box, or the box, and it looks like the box was cut to conform to the pocket watch, so I'll make sure, Rick, that I don't lose that box. So get that like this, put this back on, be totally anal retentive on here. So this is watch number 1. I like the salesman case, by the way, that's pretty cool. I have one, I have a Hamilton, I think it's a 992B as well, in a salesman case. So here comes watch number 2. Let's see what this thing looks like. There's watch number 2. And let me push this one back. So now I've got 3 watches on my bench. I've got another guy who contacted me today and said he's the king of breaking pivots on pocket watches. And he says, I need someone that can actually restaff some watches for me. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm probably the guy that can do it. I'm still busy at work. I'm telling you guys, I'm busy at the office still. So you got to let me finish my office work too, okay? So although I do this on weekends, which means I don't have time during the week to do it, and I'm usually worn out before when I get back from work. So there's another box that's been cut nicely and conforms to the watch. So Rick obviously takes good care of his watches and is not hazardous, casual, what's the word? I don't know the word. Anyway, so there is the watch. Let's have a look at this one. This is a Hamilton. It's got no seconds hand. I may have one of those there, Rick, for this. We'll see if I do. Probably has a screw. Yeah, it's got a screw down case, and this looks like, yeah, it's got a bit of wear on the case itself. It does not look like a gold filled case, by the way. So this is not gold fill. It might be, I may be able to take it off like this, and I can. There we go. It's got a screw back case on it, which is nice. I like that. I'll have to wash the case, clean the threads, make sure it screws back nicely, but let's look at the movement. The movement is your typical Lancaster 17 jewel movement. It's a 974 Hamilton, and the date is, or the serial number, it's adjusted, which is nice. Somebody had set it to fast, right, because it was running slow for some reason. And the number is 1142870. Let me type that in and get back to you. All right, here's the Hamilton watch. It's a grade 974 Hamilton. There's a serial number. It was produced in 1915, and it had pretty healthy run quantity on this. It is a 17 jewel watch, and it is adjusted, it says. It is adjusted to temperature as well. Look at that. Eh? So it's adjusted to temperature, but it is not a railroad grade movement, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, but it's not a railroad grade movement, but it is adjusted, and it is adjusted to temperature, so which is a good thing. So that's the watch there. Again, I'm not going to bother looking up the value, but these are valued at maybe 300, maybe more. It depends on whether it's retail, it depends on its age, it depends on the case, it depends on the person you're selling it to, actually. So you can sell it for a lot more than it's worth sometimes if someone really wants that watch. So there you go. So that's the data on this watch. So my first look at this watch again is that it looks like the power is down on it, so that's good. I don't know if it's running at all. I could wind it a few times and see if it does any ticking. Yeah, it's got a little bit of ticking going on, so it's probably, I think he said it doesn't run in the face up position, maybe face down. I'll have to look. So he said it stops running in that position, which means that likely there's a pivot problem on one side. So if usually you flip it face up and it doesn't run in that position, it could be a jewel problem, a pivot problem or something, right? I'll have to look at that and assess the issue. It's probably pretty old, and it probably hasn't been serviced and oiled in a long time. And the case, I think the case is probably, what is this case? What is this case? Yeah, it's base metal. So the case is not a high-end case. It's a base metal case. So this would be your average layman's watch, but it's not a bad little Hamilton here. So I'm not going to completely trash it tonight. So there you go. So that's this watch. I'll put the cover back on. Let's have a look at the face again. Just screw this cover back on. You always hold it really lightly and never force the threads on the screw. So I do this, and then if it doesn't seem to want to come on, I just back it off. Sometimes I'll just give up. I'll do this for a while until I get tired, and then I give up. And once I've screwed it on like this, I always look at the sides and the back to make sure that I'm not missing something with respect to the threading of it, right? So is it going on nicely? And as you can see, it is. So I always do that, look at the edge here, and then to see if it's, am I fighting with the actual threading or something. So don't just if it feels smooth, it is, right? So there it is there, the Hamilton watch. It's not a railroad grade, but it's a nice Hamilton, and Hamiltons are typically higher end watches unless you've got a nice watch that's like a 23 jewel watch, or one with a wind indicator, or what it looks like. Wind and wind are spelled exactly the same, so it could be a wind indicator. You don't know. It could somehow know how fast the wind is blowing. Likely not. Likely a wind indicator. Anyway, I apologize about my sense of humor. So we're going to put this in a case as well, so it keeps it nice and safe, like this. And I've got the 2 boxes right here, so I'll store those as well. And I'll put that aside. So once again, this is just a quick video. I'm JD, and thank you very much. I'll be working on these watches soon, I tell you, soon. I still have to fix the other watch that has a loose jewel, but I wanted to use a new technique with shellac to fix it. And guess what? I found myself a big bag of shellac. I bought this shellac, and look at the size of this shellac bag. So if you want to buy a big bag of shellac, this is it. So this is classic, durable, natural finish and sealer, stored below 75 degrees. Grind to accelerate the dissolving if blocked. Grind, imported from India all the way. That is a very good shellac. It's a very, very good. So this is de-waxed. That's the key. So I had to pay another $80 to get old world de-waxed shellac, and this is it. And this is a big bag. This has got to be at least a pound. I'm not sure how much it says on here, but it's a whole bunch of gigamites. Anyway, big bag of shellac. So I'm waiting for the denatured alcohol that should also be coming. I had some. It got stopped at the U.S. border, U.S.-Canada border. Canada says, we can't let that crap into Canada because we don't like anything that's denatured. We just like things that are natured. So, natured, I tell you. So they wouldn't let my shellac through, or my alcohol through, that denatured. So I ordered some more, and now it's coming from who knows where, and I'm hoping that that doesn't get stopped at the border with the denatured border police. We'll stop it and go, wait a second, who's running a still up here in Canada? And it's a watchmaker trying to dissolve some shellac to turn it into liquid shellac for installing it on or using it on an impulse jewel. And I really want to do this before I finish this other watch and deliver it. So now I've got all kinds of stress because I've got one on the bench that needs to be finished really soon. I've got 2 more that just arrived. I've got my own that I have basically in a cleaning container that I need to clean and put and reassemble, that I really like, but I'll have to put that in the back shelf because it's mine. And I have my Billy watch needs to be returned to Billy. He promised me dinner, which is a nice thing. Thank you, Billy. And I have these other watches I still have to negotiate with the guy who keeps breaking pivots. He says he's the king of the pivot breakers. Please comment if you're listening, sir. And if you have this propensity to, that's a big word for me, by the way, I'm an engineer, propensity to break pivots. And the way you do it is that you put your watch in your pocket, you jump 4 feet up in the air, and you slam yourself down on some concrete. And then the balance that's sideways in the watch goes like this, like that, and then both pivots snap. Stop doing that, okay? Or if you're juggling watches and you drop one, you're going to break a pivot. Or if you're Uri Geller from the 70s and you can bend spoons, and what's happening is you end up using the electromagnetic field power from your brain as you concentrate and focus on a single point, and you're able to snap that pivot with your mind. Stop doing that as well, because you're causing me to have to fix them. So anyway, thanks a lot. That's the bag of shellac. So thanks for listening to my nonsense. And for Ed Horn out there, I'm going to be working on those thingamajobby doohickeys as soon as I get some time. And guess what? It's winter, so the weekends are usually good, and they're not made for Michelob. So they're made for watch repair. So thanks a lot. And again, tonight we're going to have the watch blog. Look at that. Half my head's missing. Half my head's missing. You got half me over down here and the other half is up there. So we're going to get the watch blog up tonight, and we're going to get the guys to chat about problems we're going to have with watches. So I think there's going to be 6 of us tonight, so it should be really interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks a lot. And again, we'll see you later. I'm going to publish this video right now to annoy you guys, so you're going to have to listen to it.